big challenge. And I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I say lawyers and hackers, and I haven't.
Yeah, dude, I have 4 kids.
There you go then. The job is done. You don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, not only did I have 4 kids, they're all adults, so.
Oh, so there you go. She's got great grandchildren.
Well, he's not in charge.
God forbid.
God forbid. Not yet, at least, eh?
No.
Yeah.
So this is a weird statement to say, did you give your mother any grandchildren? Because he's not in charge of that.
Wolf, what happened? I don't like being mod.
Jeff probably flashed for a minute. He'll probably be back.
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute.
Like it.
Buddy, can I tell you one thing, mate? I've got a lot of respect for you. We've spoken to each other for about a year now, maybe every year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good guy, man. You know, we speak, you know, we're friends, right?
Is there a butt coming in here?
No, we are. But did you use your name, buddy?
Sorry, could you repeat that again, Persian?
Ash, did you change your username?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
How come?
Because, like a dickhead, instead of, logging out of my profile, I deactivated. Then I came...
Oh, shit, it was deleted.
Yeah, it was deleted, so I was like...
Oh.
And then
No.
So what I did was I played around with a lot of people because you get the joke, rumour has it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rumour has it.
The what, sorry? The joke what?
Rumour has it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to sound really Arabic in some rooms, and they're like,
okay.
They're like, that's Avi, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you got a very distinct voice, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, you know, like, if I heard your voice anywhere, I'd know that's you. Which is good. You know?
Yeah, apparently.
But I understand that since Hamas is underground, you don't really initiate them, and so that's the argument for the bomb. So I get that. But then I feel like the question would be how effective do you think the bombing is at killing Hamas in the tunnels?
Just to be clear about about other stuff, a lot of the bombings are basically targeting facilities, targeting buildings, not people per se. Because other stuff. 1 second. Sorry, I got a phone call. I need to call back the person that called me in a few minutes. What did I want to ask you or tell? Oh, yeah, sorry. You need to understand that a lot of the installations of Hamas are deeply embedded within the civilian facilities, right? The civilian structures. A lot of them are basically places where they hide a lot of their rockets, a lot of their munitions, control centers.
Only because you have to leave soon, man. I wanted to ask. I'm just trying to understand from your perspective. Is the tunnel system one of the most elaborate in the world?
I'm not entirely sure elaborate. It is a long. There are a lot of. Absolutely, yeah. It's unimaginable how big the tunnel system is.
That's kind of what I mean. So I guess it is the challenge of actually getting to them is a one that is real because you can't. I think America had a similar problem with fighting the Vietnamese with their tunnel systems. It's not exactly the same, but it does make it difficult to engage in. There's no way to engage in war easily, man. But it's I think one thing that I heard was if you have an elaborate tunnel system that's under the entire city, guess what? Underneath every school, there's a Hamas tunnel because it's so extensive.
But not only tunnels. But not only tunnels. You also have launchers, literally inside schools, inside places that are totally civilian places.
Okay.
We have, for example, one class. Yeah, we have, for example, classes that you have, launchers coming out of them. like literally inside buildings. I'm not talking even about launchers that are close to different buildings. That's also something that you see all the time.
And I know you got to call somebody in a second. My question would be for you as a man because I've never been in the military. I can't speak on war or anything like that. But I feel like I would ask you, how would you approach it in a similar manner if you were in Israel's shoes? Do you feel like that's the way that they've gone about it is like the most reasonable way?
I would probably. I have very little contentions towards Israeli policies regarding their operations. I do have a little bit. One of which is closing up the water for like a week to the south. Maybe you could have just like put it only in the north. Maybe you can just close the waterways to the south and waterways to the north and only allow them to the south. Or that they didn't want for specific aid. Again, this is like in the first week to come from Egypt. This is also something that there will be.
I see what you mean there.
Yeah. Those are like small criticisms in my opinion, but still it is a criticism nonetheless. Another thing that they could have done is probably just open up some type of a corridor towards Sinai or towards within Israel, to the southern part of Israel for those people who don't want to fight to not be there, and basically build like a temporary tent city in order for civilians to have like a specific safe place to go to. Inside Israel, because Egypt didn't want to open up their own borders, although I have no idea why. It's like it wouldn't take any. It literally wouldn't take. That's not a significant. This is not a significant.
It seems like it could have made a significant difference in the way things went.
Yeah, there are like. Well, look, there are like a lot of. Yeah, there are like a lot of different stuff that they could have done, but what I'm telling you right now is after the fact, right? And it's very easy to criticize after the fact. Maybe no one even like thought about it before, and it's like totally reasonable why nobody thought about it before. But those are like probably my only criticisms towards Israel. Other than that, I'm like very, very. In support of what they're doing. They're trying to minimize civilian casualties, the tactics that they employed, the way that they are like, conducting their operations, so on and so forth. Some people, like this Avi Bitterman that I was talking about before, actually thought that it is immoral how considerate Israel is in light of basically sacrificing some of their own soldiers. He's saying that it's like they are too considerate, in his opinion.
Yeah, I guess I feel like there's this way of looking at it where like sometimes it can be hard to understand both sides of it, but I definitely understand the need for the state of Israel, the rampant anti-Semitism throughout the Middle East, and I definitely understand like they responded, like you said, from a gigantic attack in a short period of time. So maybe they didn't sit down and have like those alternative considerations put forth. They felt like they were under attack. So I can see how it escalates from the mind state. Do you like what is the state of it right now? How would you describe it? Like, do you feel like things should wind down soon and return to some degree of normalcy, or?
I'm not entirely sure. Are you talking about Gaza, or what are specifically are you talking about?
Just mostly in Gaza, just like where the military conflict has seemed to escalate into a significant issue, like because a lot of Americans are wondering when it will when Israel will feel like they're done, right? Because like the one thing that people point out is America has never defeated terrorists, right? We lost in Afghanistan, we lost in, you know what I mean? So like, I can see where you're coming from, but other people would be also like, you're not gonna bomb them to oblivion. They will always fight for their homeland until all of them are dead. You know what I mean? So it's
just to be clear about one thing. When I say and think that Israel tries to eliminate Hamas, they're not saying they are trying to eliminate their ideology. Obviously, lots of people will still want to fight, so on and on and on and on. What I think they mean by eliminating Hamas is basically taking entirely their political and military capacities in Gaza, such that they are not controlling militarily and not controlling civilly. That's what I think they're trying to do. And this is something that you can do very easily. Now, in regards to, the US, they cannot, didn't have the capacity to eliminate terrorism. Well, that's correct, but Israel is not the US. Right now, Israel is in very close proximity to those territories, right? And the US might have, let me think about how I want to put it. For Israel is something that they cannot avoid and they cannot not finish. They have to finish it. For the US is not such a big of a problem. Let's suppose they didn't eliminate terrorism. It has nothing to do with the US. The US is miles, like thousands of miles away from those places.
understandable.
And also it's like a smaller territory.
And most Americans acknowledge, like, okay, statistics even show, like, you're more likely to get the highest form of terrorism in America is like right-wing terrorism, not Arabs, right? So for us, maybe we can't see it in that situation. That does make sense. If you're surrounded by people who have like historical conflict with you, I guess that does make sense. Like, you're kind of forced to defend yourself, whereas we're not. We're just like over there for reasons that can be complex. So yeah, man, it's a nuanced thing, dude. I appreciate sometimes those things can be difficult to unpack, and I feel like I'm not gonna act like I understand it, but like, thanks for your perspective, because you actually have served, so that means more. Like, your perspective, actually, you've been there, so.
Yeah, and Rhodey, like, aren't they're pretty close to getting, winning the war, right? Because one of the reasons they're bombing the South is because that's one of the last Hamas strongholds. So they're making a lot of progress, would you say, Rhodey?
Yeah. Well, there are like different estimations about how well Israel is doing militarily. The US saying that they are not close to eliminate Hamas, like only 1/3 of Hamas people have been killed. Some people, Israel claims much more than that, including a lot of people that were arrested. We have a lot of different battalions basically surrendered to Israel. There is like one interrogation where the person said that we know that we lost, so we basically just throw out our weapons from the room. And this room was inside the tunnel, and when the IDF came to this tunnel, they put all of their weapons outside the room, and they stripped their t-shirts and surrendered. So it probably really depends. I would say that the moral in the Hamas side is very low, regardless of how many people have been killed there, because they basically lost everything. A lot of the tunnels were flooded, unusable. After years, they dug them up. A lot of people are basically just surrendering and giving up all of their weapons. Those are things that you can see in the videos and the photos. And a lot of people inside Gaza basically just started to just hate Hamas because of because of Israel's attacks. It's not to say that the Gazans love Israel. It's not even close to that. They really hate Israel. But they knew that this would be... I'm talking about the older generations, not the newer ones. But the older generations that lived with Israelis before 2006 are saying that Hamas basically destroyed their lives and so on and so forth.
Isn't the average age of a Gazan like under 25 or something?
No, the median age, it's much worse than that. The median age is 18.
It's 17, actually.
Okay, so I feel like
17?
one thing that
I saw 18.
They're kids, right? So my thing, like, when we think about like 17-year-olds and 22-year-olds hang gliding into some stupid shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
I mean, like murdering and raping is some stupid shit.
I mean, come on, dude. I'm not trying to. I'm just talking.
No, he's not trying to downplay it. That's not the
You do realize that our own military will accept 17-year-olds and 20-year-olds. That's who we send overseas.
It's not 50% under the age of 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it's huge.
Like what I'm pointing out is like the guy that was in charge for the, like if you were a guy who was in a group, the dude that was telling you what to do was like 23 at best. You know what I mean? He's
Dude, we have officers at that
would have had
age.
some elders. But
Well,
like,
how old
for
do you
the
think the average Navy SEAL is who's in active duty?
I don't know, man. Let me know.
Yeah, okay, take your time, But seriously,
I said,
like
I don't know,
old
let me know.
military war is not a man's game who's over the age of 30. Over the age of 30 is already old for the battlefield.
I'm pointing out, like, if the entire population of your country is for the
That's
most
just
part,
family planning. That's their choice.
No, that's not the definition of median. The median is half the population. So half the population is over the amount. So they don't
Median
just
is
have young
average.
people.
Median means average, right?
No, it doesn't. Median does not mean average.
No, but listen, if they're teaching their kids to throw rocks, they're engaging in warfare. Like, you can kill people with rocks. So you're choosing to educate your kids to, hey, be a militant,
I was trying.
The photo of the
No. Hold on. Let me lock.
So yeah, I just pinned it.
Yeah, remove it. Remove it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Is that Edmund in the audience?
1,000 years ago, if you guys would have fought, England, or if you fought Charlemagne, or if you fought the Vikings, you wouldn't have been able to enslave them because they were more advanced, okay, at the time. So,
Well, no, but Alchemist, what I wanted to say before I interrupted you, I apologize, by the way.
You couldn't have. I mean, it's true. Like,
I don't know why he's laughing. It's an obvious point. Yeah.
But to what Corey is saying, though, like, it's been 159 years since 1865 at the end of the Civil War. You had, the progression from the 160 years, since the end of slavery to where we are today. And what the thing that I noticed is Corey keeps, basing stuff. But because I present as an Edomite to him, like he wants to call me Esau, and like everything is my fault. But he doesn't even realize that I'm actually a descendant from runaway slaves. So I mean, stop trying, dude.
Most people's ancestries were slaves at one point in time. Like, it's just the truth. Like,
this is what Doc is conflating that. I never based it on phenotypes. You heard me specifically say, was it my tribe, right? That did so, which means I didn't even challenge the notion of white people being enslaved. I didn't challenge that. Had you said that,
yeah, but you said Alchemist was not welcome in your group. You said Alchemist was not welcome.
So Corey, so let me explain like how that worked. So if your tribe never enslaved anybody in Africa, this is what happened. Your tribe fought another tribe. Okay. Your tribe lost, and so the losing tribe ends up getting enslaved or killed, and then the women get scavenged, and that's pretty much it. Okay, that was most of human time. Okay,
Yeah, rape
so
and pillage, rape and
you
pillage.
so if your tribe would have won if your tribe in Africa thousands of years ago, or whatever, would have won, okay, your tribe would have enslaved the losers. But since your tribe lost, you were enslaved.
Okay, see, that's where you don't get to speak on our history because you clearly.
That's the hard truth, dude. That's the hard truth. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm telling you the truth.
Dude, watch Shaka Zulu. Come on, dude.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me ask you this here, Alchemist. Name some books, historians, or something where you get this information from, where we can validate it.
Have you ever heard of?
Go ahead.
That's known history. What are you talking about?
Dude,
To be known books and authors and historians.
You act like you've never read anything, and then in order for anybody to prove anything to you, they've got to reference it or share it to you in the chat and Google. But when people that have already read this, and we all understand that we're all talking the same way, but you're the one just denying it because we're not.
I mean, Corey,
about history.
Corey, I mean, listen, it's not like this is what I'm saying isn't even controversial. Like that's the way tribes operated throughout all of time. All tribes. So what do you think happened? Do you think that like a tribe came to invade your tribe and your tribe was like, no, we are morally superior. We refuse to fight our own and we are just going to let them enslave us. Is that what you think happened?
Okay, let me
dude, just think about the Library of Alexandria. That's what they thought, huh?
But do you honestly believe that, or like is that just like cognitive dissonance, or what?
So you didn't answer the question. Let me give you an example of it. Our brother, Dr. John Henry Clark. So when I say some scholars, some authors, or some historians, or I can go to Sheikh Anta Diop, Nile Valley of Civilization. I can go to whichever historian that you want, because what you're saying is in direct conflict to the history that we have, and we have debated. Mary Leckwith, I'm butchering her name, and these other white scholars and historians, our scholars debated them openly. So I'm just checking the source of your information to that. So the source of your information is off because what you're doing
What does it matter if they're white?
Yeah, that's what do with being white.
I'm talking about whoever they are. I'm just making a point of it sounds like you're just saying stuff and there's no scholarship behind what you're saying. I'm asking for the scholarship.
I mean, there is. I mean, you can look up Jack Donovan. He goes over evolutionary psychology, evolutionary biology, talks about tribes throughout all of history around the world.
It's also 10,000 years of written history.
Yeah, it's like this is just like established. Like this is not like